Let me bring you in, Mr. Banerjee, because, you know, it's the Uttar Pradesh police in this case, which is in the dock in a way, according to me, an SIT is now being appointed of top police officers to look into his tweets. Top IPS officers are going to have a special investigation team. Is that what is the role of IPS officers? An SIT has to be appointed and cases are filed across the state. Maharashtra does it with the Ketki Chitale, where there was an opposition ruled state. UP does it where there is a BJP ruled state. And that's the problem. FIRs are being used as a weapon. Why should the police first go and arrest him? First investigate, find out whether charges are made out, and then go and arrest. None of these charges require immediate arrest, surely.
Rajdeep, what has happened in this particular case is, UP police has gone ahead and arrested Jubair based on one FIR. And subsequently, there were more FIRs after that. So the point is that when the police arrest a person, normally it is assumed that they have sufficient evidence and record to say that, yes, this man should be in jail and he should not be out on bail.
Mr. Banerjee, let's not stretch incredulity. For a 4-year-old tweet, the police feels there's an immediate need to arrest. This obsession with arrest, that's the problem. Here is the courts have said repeatedly, jail not bail not jail. We should not become a police state, but we are becoming a police state. The police is happily going around the country arresting on behest of their political masters, whether it's Congress ruled or whether it's BJP ruled.
Yes, it is a high-profile case, undoubtedly. And
so what's the need to arrest?
That whenever an FIR is lodged,
yes,
the top officers or all the supervisory officers, they are very keen to see that arrests are made. Even the investigating officer wants some. Beg your pardon?
Why? Why should the police be in this haste to arrest? That's the problem. That's how we become a police state.
The police has to act according to the FIR. And once an FIR is lodged, they believe that the FIR is true. Believing that the FIR is true, they work accordingly and they start investigating accordingly. You just raised this question about SIT. Now, SIT is a special investigation team which will only look after this particular case or these cases. You see, now, what is the role of an IPS officer? You just questioned. The role of an IPS officer is to supervise cases, to oversee.
No, my point was, sir, to have an SIT in a case like this seems a bit overstretched, but let's come out of Jubair to the overall picture. I want to bring you in, Neeraj Kumar, because in 2020, which is the last year for which statistics are available, 1,834 people in this country have been arrested either for social media statements or remarks that they have made in the public domain. Many of these people need not be arrested. These are not necessarily provisions which you need immediate arrest. Politicians make all kinds of inflammatory remarks in their public speeches that could again inflame religious passion. Nobody goes immediately to arrest them. But when there's a citizen, you immediately arrest. 1,834. Is the police also now FIR happy, if I may call it, like trigger happy? They're also FIR happy. Chalo, FIR hai, arrest kar do. Yes, go ahead. Sir, you're on mute, sir. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. It's unexceptionable that today arrests follow automatically after the registration of an FIR, which should not happen. Because more than anything else, it is a complete negation of the entire principles behind arrest, and also the fact that you are dealing with the reputation of a person. You arrest a person and his reputation for all time to come is totally gone. Later he gets bailed, later he gets acquitted, but in the bargain his reputation goes. In fact, I wrote a detailed article on this subject in one of the leading newspapers, that arrest should be done very sparingly and keeping everything in mind, and only when it is absolutely necessary.
So why are they being done? So then why? So sorry to. Then why are they being done so often? Why do you think? Has something changed? Is the police under pressure from their political bosses to arrest specific individuals? And here I'm saying across parties. Arnab Goswami, the manner in which he was picked up, the series of cases that were filed against an Arnab Goswami, or whether a journalist just recently of Z News, Chhattisgarh police landing up, or a Jignesh Mevani being picked up in the night from Gujarat? What is the pressure?
Rajdeep, I cannot answer your question. We can only speculate and we can only say that this has happened or that has happened. But nobody knows the true facts. What was the motivation behind the arrest of Arnab Goswami, or what was the motivation behind not arresting some other people who had made statements which were purportedly inflammatory? So, I mean, I cannot answer that question, what exactly the motivation was. But suffice it to say that the police, as you are rightly pointing out, should act, just as has been prescribed under law, and it should keep all sensitivities into mind before jumping into a precipitate action like arresting somebody.
Okay.
There's no true opinion about that.
Okay.